is just too much. It's too much. It's too much. Whew. But I'm live. Finally, I've been trying to work on figuring this out. I really thought it was going to be more of a simple process, and it was not. And even as I'm speaking right now, I don't even know if I am actually live. I just pray that I am, and that everything that I'm saying is going to get recorded. And my camera, I pray, does not die on me because this battery is very suspect. And it just has a short lifespan. So y'all, I'm not even going to waste too much time. I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to get in and get out like a drive-through. Okay? Because all this technology stuff, like, I'm trying, y'all. I really am. Y'all just have no idea all the crap I've been trying to figure out all day for the last few hours. And I thought I was pretty tech savvy. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to just figure it out. But, yeah, I got smacked in the face today. Because this shit is for the birds. Y'all that go live, like, I was trying to do it the, professional way. Like, I got a camera and stuff. So it's my first time really using this camera, and trying to do a whole little setup. But hopefully you guys are out there. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, please, put a thumbs up emoji in the chat. Okay, yay. My boyfriend, you can hear me, right, babe? Hopefully you can. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. People usually say I'm gonna wait till people trickle in, but like I said, my battery can literally die at any given time, and I really want to get this done before that happens. And there will be more lives to come where we can really talk. I can interact with you guys. I can really take my time, but today is just not the day. But that's okay. I'm gonna make it work. I'll make it work. So today's topic, the hot topic that I got for y'all, is the Fresh Prince reunion. Yes, the Fresh Prince reunion. 30 years since this show has started, since this show has come out, and they just aired their reunion with the whole cast. The whole cast. When I say the whole cast, just think about that for a second, because there was someone from the cast that was exiled after the third season, and she was actually a part of it as well. Shocking, I know. Miss Janet Hubert. But we're going to get to her in just a second. I just want to give a quick reaction on this, guys. Fresh Prince, for me, was definitely one of my favorite shows growing up. I'm sure a lot of people can say the same thing. Iconic show. Iconic show. One of the best comedies in history. One of the best comedy sitcoms in history. Period. The 90s was a time that will forever be capsulated, will forever be frozen, and nothing can be duplicated like the 90s. And I think the further that we go in time, the more we realize that the 90s was just a special time. And we miss it. A lot of us miss a lot of things from the 90s. I was young. I was a youngin'. But now that I've grown up, I watched reruns of Fresh Prince. I didn't watch it when it came out live. I was only like 5, 6, 7 years old when it was airing. So, but pretty much in the late 90s, 2000s, the reruns were strong. Like, they were always on. I don't even remember what channels, but it was easy to find. It was easy to stumble upon. Even if you weren't looking for it, the Fresh Prince was on TV, okay, in syndication all the time. All right. So I love the Fresh Prince. Will Smith was phenomenal in this show. The cast had such great chemistry, and it was just so authentic. They covered so many type of situations and relationships and issues, and it was so authentic and relatable. Um, and you just were rooting for Will, throughout the seasons, and you saw him grow up from that kid from Philadelphia that was a clown and didn't take nothing seriously and was all about girls to him becoming a professional, you know, polished young man that went to college and everything. He came a long way for sure. So the reunion was set in the house, in the set. They recreated it. It looked just like old times, and it was definitely nostalgic. Pretty much everyone was there. Even baby Nikki showed up in the middle of the reunion. So it was great. I just want to say that I'm glad that they did it, one, and two, that Will attempted to make some of his wrongs right when it comes to Janet Hubert. There's a lot to that story. I'm not even going to get into their history, but they've been feuding since the 90s, basically since she was quote unquote fired from the show, which we have learned properly that she was not fired from the show, but that they were negotiating contracts. She declined their offer and they decided, well, we're going to recast you. So it wasn't really a firing, it was more so her declining her contract and them just keeping it moving. And she revealed a lot of why, she didn't return and why things got so tense towards the end. But I just want to say a few things that stood out to me. I definitely cried during the reunion. I didn't think I would, but seeing they just had so many clips. I loved how they produced this documentary. They had a mixture of, the one-on-one interviews with a couple with the cast all sitting together and having just a regular conversation mixed with old clips from different episodes mixed with behind the scenes footage, which that was one of my favorite parts, was just being able to see the cast in the writers room, sitting with their scripts and just seeing them all in their younger version of themselves. James Avery, may his soul rest in peace. Just seeing how they interacted with each other, seeing them, as they were like on set, blocking things, blocking scenes and stuff like that, and them just really going into depth about how their weeks went. Monday was the read through, Tuesday was the walkthrough, and so on and so forth. And just kind of their pre-show, rituals that they used to do, and just how the cast was behind the scenes and how they came together really as a family. And it was just such a heartwarming reunion because you could tell that, minus Janet Hubert, they all get along. They all look at each other as family. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of camaraderie, support, um, love, and it was just so evident because of how relaxed everyone was sitting down, just having a conversation while the cameras were rolling. There wasn't really any awkward, like, oh, you could tell they fell out, or oh, they are sitting on two ends of the couch because they don't get along. There was nothing like that. And Will is just the ultimate storyteller. He always is, no matter what the platform is or what the media form is or whatever he's doing. He's always a great storyteller, and that's one of the things I do love about Will Smith. He will tell a story, and I've heard him tell some of the same stories, and he tells it with so much bravado, so much detail, enthusiasm. It's almost like he's telling the story for the first time, even though he's told it like 50 times. And it's just so interesting. You're just drawn in. I loved being able to just see the tribute that they gave to James Avery. That was the part that I cried on. He was a phenomenal actor, and just hearing his backstory about how he was trained in theater, and his love for jazz music, and just how he was such a cornerstone um, influence to all of the characters on the show, and how he was really like a father like figure basically to all of them. And he took his job very seriously. He knew he had a responsibility as a black man with kids, being on television, showing how professional he was, showing the challenges of being a dad, being a husband, but he did it so well. He did it so well. Um, he was really Uncle Phil for a lot of people, because he was just such a great role model. He kept it 100. He didn't take no slack. He pushed you, you know, to the edge. He pushed you to get the best out of you, and he was so loving and supportive. All of his kids were very different, from Hillary, to Carlton to Ashley, but he was so close, and he was so influential in their lives. So you know, it's just amazing, really. It's amazing to see that. Of course, my computer battery is getting low. This is not good. I'm gonna be right back. I don't know if y'all okay with that. I'm gonna be right back. Gotta get my charger. Don't want it to die on y'all. So just 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Thank you for bearing with me. Whew. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so James Avery, uh, rest in peace. He was awesome. And just seeing all those behind the cliff scenes just added to the context of how great he was on screen. And it makes sense how, and it proves why he was such a great actor. Um, Another thing, that I liked, that they covered, was obviously Will mouthing the lines in the first season. He's talked about that many times as well. But just seeing them, show the clips of him doing it, and it's like, oh my God, if I was on set, I would be so thrown off. Like, I would literally be like, no, cut. Like, we can't, we cannot shoot this scene. Like, can you please stop doing that? Because I would be thrown off. I just know, like, that would just, especially because he didn't give a heads up, like, guys, I'm gonna be mouthing your lines, everybody. Hey, everybody, just want to let you know I'm gonna be mouthing your lines because I'm trying to remember everything. I'm nervous. This is gonna be helpful for me when I do my lines. Hope it doesn't throw you off. He didn't do that. He just did it in the scene, and people were just like, wait, am I seeing double? you know. So that was funny. That was definitely funny. So yeah, so I think that what else? What else was good? What other moments was good? Obviously Carlton, the dance, the Carlton dance, and just him and Will's yin and yang chemistry. They explained it perfectly. Like that they had chemistry immediately. As soon as the cast was brought together, they started, doing table reads and all that. It was so obvious that, it is so obvious that they had so much chemistry. Like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, Carlton was like that nerdy, quirky, super like into his studies and socially awkward, like little brother figure, while Will was like cool, calm, collected, good with the ladies. Class clown. He didn't care about his classes, but it didn't matter because he was the popular guy in school. And he was fashionable and all of these things. So Carlton was always trying to catch up with Will, but seeing their dynamics, that was one of the funniest elements of the show, just them going back and forth. And you cannot pull that off without actually having real chemistry, and obviously without having people that are just talented at what they do, and that is Will and Alfonso. He's super talented, um, and super versatile with his range. And so I like seeing that, you know. Um, Ashley talking about her having her first kiss on screen, like in real life, like on a TV show. So I was like, oh my gosh, she was so little. Like, wow, like she really grew up on the show. So that was sweet. That was sweet. Hillary, them showing her audition, that was funny. I'm like, she deserved that role. Like she really nailed Hillary. I don't know who else auditioned, but like I could never imagine anybody else, playing Hillary. Um, so yeah, so I thought overall the reunion, the flow of it, it was really good. They covered a lot of the important cultural impact type of topics that show brought to the world, which is fashion, family, a kid coming, a urban kid coming from one place where his life was much different, and his father wasn't in his life. He could have ended up on the wrong path, and being able to come and stay with family who was not too fond of him in the beginning because they're uppity and you know polished and you know upper class and all of that. But just seeing how they eventually embraced him and how he just slowly became part of the family, and how they needed each other, after some time. Um, the Fresh Prince was on for 6 seasons. It's one of the most rewatched sitcoms of all time. It's known all over the world. Um, you see people dress up like Will, when he was on the show, with the high tops and the bright colored clothes, and the old school snapbacks, and the long socks and all that stuff. Like, that was what was hot back then, and everybody wanted to be like the Fresh Prince. Um, oh yeah, and of course they showed the clip. One of my favorite moments from this show, when Will was talking to Ashley about how she should. I don't remember if it was a bully situation. Somebody was bullying her in school, or somebody was bothering her or teasing her. And Will's like, just tell them, back up, back up. Mind your business. That's all. Mind your business. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite moments. There's so many good moments, but that's definitely like one of them. So definitely want to switch gears um, to the second part. I want to say the second part, the part we all wanted to see. Let's be real. I mean, the part we all wanted to see, which was when Will mentioned and introduced that he had spoken to Janet, um, and that the purpose was for them to reconcile, and to be able to have a conversation, because they had not had a conversation in 27 years. Basically, since she departed from the show, they have never spoken to each other in person. But they spoke about each other in the press. Ooh, yes, they did. Mm-mm. It is well documented. You can look it up on Google. Well documented that they would drag each other in the press. It was more so on Janet's side. I'm not going to throw Will in there like he was getting down and dirty with her. But, he did say some statements, especially early on in his career, about how she wanted it to be the on Viv of Bel Air, and, that she was just kind of, trying to outgrow her bridges, like trying to go past what her place, in a way, and that it just became more and more evident. um but most of the bad mouthing and the ranting definitely came from Janet's end, because she was angry, as anybody would be, that was on a hit show and was a major part of making that show influential and making it groundbreaking and entertaining and just one of a kind. To go from being a part of the making and the cultivation and the success, to now just being replaced, like you never existed. So I can relate. I can understand why she was so pissed the hell off all these years, because I just have to keep it 100. I feel like Will could have done a lot over these years. He should have had this conversation long time ago, years ago. Like, why is it just happening right before an anniversary? And this is just me being critical of Will. I am a big fan of Will. I think he tries to get it right. He tries to be transparent. He tries to be a good person. And I think for the most part, he is. And he's a great role model, great father. That can be to be debated in terms of his parenting styles, but he has a good heart, and he's super hardworking. He cares so much about his image and all of those things. Some people may think, that's kind of a debilitating thing to have. Some may see it as greatness. But overall, he's a pretty good guy. I think most people like Will. They are fond of him. Um, and for him to, and he also had a Red Table Talk as well. That actually just came out. If you guys want to check that out, it's on Facebook. Red Table Talk, Will's Takeover. I'm like, if he don't sit his butt down, now you're trying to take over your wife's situation because of COVID, because you're not shooting movies. Now you're cool with sitting at the red table and, coming up with things to talk about when you wasn't even trying to be on it like that before. I see what you're doing. I peeped it. But it's okay. It's cool. I get it, Reunion came out, you're trending. Everybody's talking about it. You gotta put content on content on content. Strike while the iron is hot. I see you. But anyway, I just feel like this whole conversation, this whole thought process, this whole aha moment that he seems to just have come out of the woodwork with this year should have happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago. Just not now. You're talking 3 decades later that you finally, and you can tell that this is something that has been bothering him for the longest because of what he talked to the therapist about, saying how he's gone on and he's done so many things. He's been all over the world. He's met so many people, seen so many things, and there's still this thing that lingers over him about someone speaking badly about him when his MO is to always be the nice guy, to always be kind and loving and just someone that believes in paying it forward and all of those positive pleasantries. And here you have this black woman who was, as she said, banished off of the show, and you went on about your wonderful career and never looked back. And that's exactly what it was. Everything she said in their little, one-on-one, she hit the nail on the head. She didn't talk out of turn. She wasn't talking crazy. She wasn't delusional. She wasn't um, falsely accusing him of things that didn't happen. Everything she said was facts. Period. Everything she said is what happened. We all know that. We all have witnessed it. We all was wondering what happened on this. Who is this lady? Because let's be honest, the show was never the same after she left. It wasn't. I mean, I've watched all the episodes. I've seen all 6 seasons, seen several episodes numerous times, but the show was not the same once Aunt Viv, the original Aunt Viv, was gone. And this is why it is important to recognize talent the right way, because that should not have happened. Somebody should have looked at the bigger picture and said, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so we got to figure this out. We got to try to work this out. We understand she's pregnant. She's, very moody. She is not the same woman that she was on set from last year. She has a lot going on that she's not talking to anyone about. So that part of it is just a question mark. I get that part. But when you talk about the 3 seasons that you guys just did, and looking at the ratings, looking at the popularity, magazine covers, interviews, everything, you know, all of the hype, all of the buzz that has already been built from the first 3 seasons. You mean to tell me nobody was thinking from a ensemble standpoint, a business standpoint, a creative standpoint, that what is really the problem? Let's talk to this woman. Let's really have a conversation as a cast. Let's, as production, let's have a conversation with her, the network. Let's have a conversation with her and really try to understand what is her issue. That's number one. Number two is that she talked about how they were not trying to pay her. I think she asked for a raise for season 4, and not only did they not want to give her the raise, but they actually were looking to cut her salary because they were only going to request for her to work for 10 weeks. I don't know how that breaks down in terms of episodes, if it's like half a season or you're in all the episodes, but you're only, in like a scene or two, so we don't even see you like that. I'm not sure. But the way she said it was like they were basically trying to, pull the reins back. Like, she's getting out of line. We got to whip her back, back into place. keep her in her place. Um, and my thing is, once she declined the initial offer, there should have been a counter offer. There should have been, okay, how can we meet in the middle? What are you looking to get? Would you be okay with appearing in 75% of the season? Would you be okay with appearing, in one scene per episode or whatever the case is? Why are you even looking to diminish her role? It's because she was starting to be difficult to work with, quote unquote. She was starting to, I guess, have an attitude like she wanted a bigger role. She wanted more, to make more decisions. And I understand that that can be a bit toxic and a bit dramatic when you have a whole cast. Everybody, it's a lot of moving pieces and all of that. I understand that must have been difficult. And I don't know what her energy was. I don't know how far she was taking it. I don't know what she was really saying. And was she saying it to everybody? Was she just saying it to one cast member over here on the side? Was she going up to the director and trying to tell them how to do their job? Like, I would really like to know the inner workings of what she did that was so bad that they couldn't even attempt to negotiate a proper contract for season 4 for her. And they couldn't even attempt to say, we want you back. We understand that there's some friction between you and Will. We don't know what's going on with that. However, we want to fix this. We want you back because nobody can do it better than you. Like, you have annihilated this role. Like, you have taken it like to the moon. And we don't want to risk going back to the drawing board, having to go back to casting and doing auditions to try to find someone to replace your spirit. Like, that's just not going to happen. And it didn't. And they didn't even try to cast someone of her caliber. That was the part that really annoyed me. Like, you replace her. First of all, oh, this is some tea. You replace her with the woman that turned the role down. Because if y'all watch the reunion, you peeped when Daphne Reed was like, oh yeah, I auditioned or whatnot. And then, or when I got approached to audition and they told me what it was about, that it would be a show about a rapper. And she's like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want no parts of that. So basically, I guess she auditioned the first time, and when she learned more about what the show premise was going to be, she was not interested anymore. So now you're telling me that you casted aside the star, one of the stars of the show, right after Will. I would say it's like Will, James, and her, 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion. You know what I mean? In terms of who was really killing it in those 3 seasons. So you cast her out, and then you replace her with the woman that didn't want the job in the first place? Like, how that work? Like, and then she didn't have no chemistry. She never had, it was just so aggravating. It really was. It was really one of those things that just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I don't want this to sound like I'm hating on the woman or that she's not talented. She doesn't deserve a chance. Oh, because she's light skinned. It has nothing to do with that at all. It's just from a entertainment and artistic standpoint, a chemistry standpoint, it was the wrong move. It was the wrong move. And I understand Janet was going through a lot and she probably was giving the set a lot of problems. But this is when you put some shit aside to say this show is a hit and we want to keep this train rolling in the right direction. So we are going to, for the sake of the show, the sake of the fans, the sake of the trajectory of this show and the success that is going to continue to have, we will do whatever it takes to attempt to bring this woman back. Now, if she is just not going for nothing, like, nope, I want this and that, and they don't want to give her what she's looking for, I would have given her the raise. I don't know. I think she was asking for $5,000 more. I don't know. But I would have given her the raise. Like, yes, absolutely. Yes, we will pay you. Yes, you earned it. Yes, you you are a star. Like, like, okay, like, we didn't expect you to be asking for this money, but, you know, you're being smart about your business and about, the work that you're doing. So we got to pay her because she asked and she's not going to back down from her negotiations. So we got to pay her because she is too good to lose. And the network did not see it that way. They were like, nope, we'll just replace you. Bye. Bye. See ya. Good luck. And the show took a hit. It took a major hit. Everybody will tell you that. I don't know anybody that will say, oh, yeah, the light skin of it. Oh, yeah, I liked her better. Oh, my gosh, she was my... No. Sorry. Try again. So I was so glad with how honest and to the point Janet Hubert was. She gave me the vibe of, I have forgiven you. You have put so much struggle and a damper on my life. However, I'm still here. I am tired of speaking out about this. I'm tired of giving you more power than you deserve over my life, over my career, over my identity. I'm done because I'm tired and I'm ready to move on. And I'm sitting with you because it's time and let's just get it done. And she came in pleasant, professional. She clearly was hurt. She clearly was going through a lot of emotions, but she spoke eloquently and she got her point across to Will. Boom, boom, boom. There was no beating around the bush. There was no, oh, she had to pause and think about what she's been through. She laid it out right on the spot. I lost everything. You banished me. You spoke ill of my name, basically calling me difficult to work with, making my career post Fresh Prince non-existent. Because that's basically what happened. She would go in for other auditions, into other rooms, and every time the topic was, oh, so what happened with the Fresh Prince? Yeah, what's going on with the... We were wondering, And she could never get out of that shadow. And Will could have fixed that behind the scenes, especially with how his star had gotten brighter and brighter when he started doing all of his movie roles, and you guys know it was history from there. But he has just become a bigger and bigger star and has moved up the levels, up the ranks in Hollywood. So if you decide you want to work this out with this woman behind the scenes, there have been some back and forth jabs, but ultimately you feel bad about how everything went down on the show. You regretted not caping for her in whatever little way you could. You regretted not following up and trying to see what was going on with her and all that. So now you want to make things right. You want to get her in audition rooms. You want to, bring her along for something. You want to give her a reference to somebody. He could have done a little something. Even if it was just like, look, I can't get you the role, but I can, there's some auditions, blah, blah, blah. This is what you need to do. This is who you need to get in contact with. I pass your name along to this casting director, this person. Like, there's things he could have done to make an effort to say, I want to see you win. And he just turned his face. Like, I don't want to know what's going on over there. I'm good. I got my family. I got kids. I got my wife. Like, that woman, she talking crazy over there. I don't have time, and he just was not trying to be involved at all. But look at how it all ends. Everything comes back. When you do people wrong, it will come back to haunt you. And it eventually did bother him to the point where he's like, wow, I can't do this reunion without fixing this situation. Because you know people are not going to watch this reunion. Not like that. Probably watch clips that we see on YouTube that people repost, but nobody was really going to be checking for the reunion like that. Because everybody would be like, wow, you still haven't talked to that woman? You still haven't apologized? Wow, Will. Wow. He knew. He knew. He knew it was that time. So I'm just glad Janet got everything off of her chest that had been bothering her, and we got to learn more about what she was going through in '93. With her having her son being 3 months, her husband not working at the time, them trying to, basically her talking about they were locking her in her room, saying that she couldn't come out to the stage. And she just got to a point where she wasn't talking to anyone on set because she didn't know who she could trust. That's sad. That's really sad, and it is what it is. I mean, the show went on without her, but like I said, it was never the same. She read him for filth in a respectful, kind, forgiving way. And I loved it. I love that she didn't let him off the hook. I love that she said what she needed to say. Oh no, you ruined my career. That's basically what she said, for a lack of better words. You ruined my career. I've been blackballed. Calling black women difficult to work with is the kiss of death. And yeah, you are the cause of that. Thank you. Thank you for making me a prisoner in my own career for the last 3 decades, but also thank you for releasing me from this prison cell. She literally said that on Twitter. That was hilarious to me. I was like, good old Janet. She be coming with them one-liners, I tell you. But I really hope post this reunion that she's able to go for roles, she's able to do whatever she's interested in doing, that she is given a fair shot to be considered for roles, if that is something that she is still interested in doing at this point in her life. I hope will provide a helping hand behind the scenes. We don't need to hear about it. We don't need to get a whole explanation of what you did and who you talked to, and the email chain and the voicemails and retweeting and shouting her out and adding people online. We don't need to see none of that. Just handle it behind the scenes, and we'll see her come out when she has something going on. But I really hope her career is able to make a turn and she's able to be active in that Hollywood acting community. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Is she going to be able to bounce back? Is she going to be able to get some reparations for what she has lost? Because she definitely lost some money, possibilities of being able to get other roles that could have been very popular and very lucrative for her. Her family, what do you call it, disowning her, basically saying like, you tarnished our name, we're disappointed with you, we don't want to have anything to do with you. That's heartbreaking. So I hope for all the years that Will decided to sit on his hands and turn his face to the side and not be concerned, I hope that he, especially now we're in a pandemic, he's not shooting movies, like these things can be on his mind more. So I really hope that he has it in mind to do something for her behind the scenes, not just for the viral moment, not just because this was a reunion and the time has come, we are all doing the reunion and I needed you to be there for clickbait, ratings, and all of that. I really hope that it's deeper than that. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. We shall see. But I'm glad they hashed it out. I'm glad she spoke her mind, and he had to hear that. The only was a little bit thrown off by was his reaction. He did a great job at listening and allowing her to have the floor and speak. But I just felt like I didn't get that apology that I was looking for, that I was expecting from him. And I don't expect him to be on his knees, tears running down his face, begging for her forgiveness. Just please forgive me, please. I'm so sorry. You were my first mother on camera, and I shouldn't have done you like that. I'm sorry. I was young. I wasn't looking for any of that. But I just wanted him to be a little bit more earnest, a little bit more like, wow, I really messed up. And I didn't get that from him. I kind of feel like he was performing a little bit. He's a good actor, I feel like he was performing, and it was like, gotta get this shot for the reunion. Gotta make the interview good. Gotta make the one-on-one good. How's my lighting? Should I sit? Is this lighting good? I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit like it lacked a little bit of genuinity. But hopefully I'm reading it wrong. Hopefully, it is not what it seems, or it's not coming off the way I think it's coming off. All in all, he stepped up to the plate. He's trying to right his wrongs. He's trying to be a better man. He's trying to be more introspective and look back on things and make improvements in his life. And so I'm guessing this is part of his journey. So I'm glad. I'm glad that no matter why it happened, how it happened, whose idea was it, who nudged him to do it, no matter the behind the scenes of the whys, I'm just glad it happened. And Janet seems to be at peace. She seems to be relieved. So I'm happy for her, Now, the next public apology we need to see is Mr. Tyler Perry apologizing to Monique. Monique has already called him out that, Tyler, I mean, look at what Will just did. Come on up. Step on up. No need to hang your head. You don't need to be ashamed. Just, it's all right. Come on to the table. It don't got to be a red table, but you got to come up to the table now. Don't you have something to tell me? You have a few words to share with me? Anything? We're all waiting. Tyler, we're waiting. But that's all I got, y'all. Thank you for joining me. This is like my first live ever. Hopefully it was good. I didn't want to be on here for too long. I don't even know how long it's been. But thank you for joining me. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lady Sola TV, LadySola TV. I'm definitely going to do more lives. This is a new thing, so we'll see how it goes. But, I'm definitely going to do more lives and, go live on Instagram and YouTube. So definitely subscribe, share with a friend, share the link, and all that good stuff. And let me know in the comments, what you thought about the reunion and how it went, how you feel about Janet. Do you feel like she got her just due? Do you feel like she got the proper apology? Do you feel like Will was sincere? Or do you feel like it was something else to it? So let me know in the comments. Oh, also, my t-shirt line, Take Me Black. I have launched some new shirt designs, so make sure to check out www.takemeblack.shop. The link is in my bio, and I have, shirts. Basically, the t-shirt line is paying a homage to all the classic black comedy shows from the 90s, 2000s, and any other good shows that were black-dominated cast, black-dominated stories. That's what this t-shirt line is all about. So make sure to go on the site. The shirts are actually 50% off right now in celebration of this reunion. And it'll be going the sale will go on until next Thursday, right before Black Friday. So definitely make sure to go on the site and, pick up a shirt or two. I appreciate the support. But that's all I got for now. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Hope you guys have a great rest of your